Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy is due in London today to meet British Prime Minister Keir Starmer ahead of US President Donald Trump's key talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska tomorrow. Zelenskyy is due to meet Starmer at 9:30 a.m. local time at 10 Downing Street. This comes as on Wednesday Trump joined a Germany-hosted virtual meeting with European leaders, including President Zelenskyy, who warned that President Putin was bluffing about his desire to end the war. President Trump later threatened severe consequences if Putin does not agree to peace in Ukraine and has warned of economic sanctions if Friday's meeting proves fruitless. Now for this discussion, we're joined by Mark Sutherland. He's a geopolitical commentator. Thank you, Mark, for joining us again. Good to see you.
Now, good to see you too.
Thank you. Now, given Ukraine's continued push for Western support, particularly to countries which do not maybe have best relations with Russia, ahead of this Russia-US summit tomorrow, is there a risk that Ukraine's diplomatic efforts could further entrench the conflict rather than bring about a resolution?
There's always a risk to all of that on both sides. But remember, in regard to history, Trump has constantly gone on about the fact that NATO countries need to play their part, need to spend more money on militarily and on their military infrastructure. So we've got that in the background. And also, as the Prime Minister of the UK, Keir Starmer, is then leading, as he says, the coalition of the willing to then unite and stand against the Russian aggression. The other thing that has to be also put into the mix here is the Ukraine application to join NATO as a NATO and become part of that alliance, which set up in the past as a supposed to be a defensive alliance after the Second World War. So that is why they're showing unity in their own way. I think the European leaders are then they would see it as trying to also apply pressure, but also to say that they are more than willing to back a peace deal. We want this war to end, but also to then back up the fact that they may put a coalition of the willing in the Ukraine, or to back Ukraine once this peace deal has then the war has then concluded and a peace deal reached. I think all of that is in the mix, which of course is also a psychological game that's playing out. Asuma.
Thank you, Mark, for sharing that. I'll come back to you for the same discussion. In